channel. I guess we'll try this again. Anyway, YouTube really is not liking me right now. And they can't find a reason to cancel my channel. But let's get to what we're going to talk about tonight is who has authority in this country, since we have the courts and Donald Trump battling each other to see who's, I don't know, the king of the hill in this country, who has the authority. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about our form of government, which we have. A constitutional republic. And I'm going to explain to you why you don't want a democracy. I mean, we have democratic principles in our republic, but we're not a democracy, okay? Remember, North Korea is a democracy. And, we had the East Germany was a democracy. Okay, let's not forget that stuff. So anyway, we're going to talk about that. And I hope it'll be a good discussion. But anyway, it's raining out today, believe it or not, again. Any moisture we can get is good moisture, and I'm happy for it. But anyway, we'll discuss YouTube a little bit since I'm waiting for people to come in. But YouTube's really slamming down on this channel hard. I don't know that, a person's opinion, especially a little guy like me, I just don't understand how it can cause so much conflict and scare so many elite, wealthy, powerful men. I mean, this is the thing. People know something's going on, and they want to hear the truth. And they want to listen to people that aren't afraid to say the truth, no matter what. No matter, you got to be truthful no matter whose side you're on. Okay, if your guy's side is screwing up and doing the wrong things, you need to speak up. When something bad's happening, you need to speak up. There's a lot of bad people in the world, and they're on both sides. But anyway, yeah, YouTube is definitely having issues with me, you might say. Yeah, they won't play my shorts. And that's one thing these live broadcasts are going to be. Hi, the pig, huh? My live broadcasts during the day are going to be about the shorts that I put on during the day. And I'm going to go into depth about the shorts. But everybody who's here, like I say, YouTube's really hammering me. So I'll never ask anybody to support this channel with money. But subscribe and hit the like and hit the share button and share them out. What kind of truck is that? Oh, it's a 1991 Ford 3/4 ton. 4-wheel drive. It's got the 460 in it. Nice truck. Before computers actually all took over. Hello, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. Like I hit that like and subscribe. Check out my shorts. Share them and stuff. See what this channel's got to offer compared to other channels. This truck is super clean. And the thing is, it's only got 132,000 miles on it. It was a ranch truck that was used for putting cake out during the wintertime for the cows out in the pasture. Their little cubes and stuff, or grain you feed them during the wintertime out in the pasture. That's all it was used for. And when the dad died, the son, who was my age, sold it to me. I mean, I got an awesome truck at an incredible price. But anyway, let's get on with the subject. Who has authority in this country? Now, it's been going back and forth. Please hit the like and subscribe. I know I keep saying that, but YouTube's really hammering this channel. Who has authority in this country? Now, the answer to that obviously is us. But we got the courts, the judicial branch, and the executive branch going at each other right now. You got these judges that are just... You cannot restrict the president from doing his job that he's required to do. And now, I guess, the 4th District Court of the United States made it so Elon Musk can't look at Doge, can't look at Social Security files and stuff. That's stupid. Okay. You know, and they restricting President Trump authority whenever they think they can. Okay, my question is if Trump don't have the authority to enforce the laws of the federal government because a judge says so, then my question is, how does a judge or the judicial system or the law enforcement system agency at any level feel that they have the right to enforce the laws on us? If Trump can't enforce the laws, that would tell me that the judicial branch, I don't have to listen to them either. And the thing is, courts don't make up laws. Since when do I got to listen to a court? The only one who's got to listen to a court is a defendant, not me. But these courts are going to make rulings that affect all of us? The judicial system's not set up that way. I'm sorry, but the judicial system does not have the authority that they think they have. And since, these judges have declared war on Donald Trump, maybe Donald Trump needs to grow a pair and do something about it. But you can't stop the president from doing what's required of him by the Constitution and the laws in the federal government. You can't stop him. If you stop him from doing his job, wouldn't that almost be dereliction of duty? Anyway, it's insanity. It's just insanity, back and forth, back and forth. This lawsuit, bring this illegal back because they didn't have due process. Catapult their ass out of the country at the border. That's my due process. Or let's just militarize the border with a bunch of signs and razor wire with machine guns pointed at them. They'll figure it out real quick. But the thing is, with the Trump administration, more are coming in every day than are going out. So, it's just a dog and pony show in my eyes. Still, millions of them are coming in every year. But who has the authority? Well, all I know is I want the president to be able to have the authority to do his job as the Constitution states it should be, okay? No more than that, which they have given themselves power over the years, okay? But, I know I'm not going to listen to no judge. Those judges put your pants on the same way I do, and they're just as crooked as can be. That's what state was that where that sheriff went in and shot the judge in his chambers because the judge was involved in some underage sex trafficking and stuff and pictures of his daughter, whatever. Judges are human too, and they're just as crooked. They're above the law. No, the thing is, when they do break the law, a judge should be subject to harsher penalties for breaking the law, especially when they sit on their bench and basically are the biggest hypocrite in the world. Anyway, but the courts don't have authority. And now we're going to get into the second part of this video. Our form of government. Okay? Now, in a constitutional republic, it handcuffs the government. It restricts the government from what it can do to its citizens. You know what I'm saying? It protects the people from the government. That's why we got a constitutional republic. But see, what a democracy does is it protects the government from the people. It's a lot. The government is in charge then. The people aren't in charge in a democracy because all you need is 50.1% of the people to agree with it, right? People talk about Trump doing a third term and stuff. Well, the democracy you're trying to create, yeah, he'll be able to do a third term. But in the constitutional republic, if we'd start following that, no, he couldn't. All right? And people just aren't smart enough to figure it out. A democracy handcuffs the people. A constitutional republic, or a democracy restricts the people. A constitutional republic restricts the government. What would you rather have restricted? We've given up so much of our freedoms and stuff so people can have security. You know, it can have government agencies take care of their every need. You know, I can't wait for the day when those government agencies aren't there to help them people out. And they realize the type of mess they put themselves in. But that's a subject to discuss on my other channel. But, you know, this is why we need to stay with the Constitutional Republic. The rules that our founding fathers made. You know, because remember, they just took out a tyrannical king. Beat us. The strongest military in the world at the time. And they knew the dangers that were inherent to a government being around too long. This is what happens. Governments are around too long. Not saying we need to switch of one every once in a while, but they sway from what the original fathers of this country wanted, or what they feared. We don't fear what they feared. Now we do from our government. But, you know, the average person doesn't understand until it affects them. You know, until your daughter or somebody you love is taken from you because of an illegal alien. Will it dawn on you then? But democracy is it's just they can take away your rights. The democracy puts the government in charge of your life. A constitutional republic puts you in charge of your life. But we do live in a country now that likes government aid. I mean, all these on this platform, and I'm sure on other social media platforms. I mean, they're all an echo chamber, so what's the difference from going from one to the other? But all you see ads on how there's this government program and stuff. Where did all this money come from? Total dependency on the government. It's crazy. But, you know, democracy is going to wrap a lot of people up into what they didn't think it was. Because, you know, in a democracy, too, it's great if you're on the winning side. But do you think you're going to be on the winning side your whole life? And then when the other winning side takes over, then all of a sudden they start taking revenge on the other side. And it's back and forth. And then let's not even get into if Trump can run for a third term. You know how Democrats believe in what Stalin said. It's not who casts the votes, it's who counts the votes. The Democrats believe in that. So we could have a Democratic president for, well, until the people stood up and put an end to it. So anyway, you know, this is just one example of how screwed up this country is, on how this platform treats conservatives, or people might even call me a libertarian. I'm definitely not a libertarian. I don't believe in one step away from anarchy, okay? And everything goes. That's what they seem to believe in. But, you know, they cover it up. They shadow ban us. You know, I just think both sides are in cahoots with each other. I think it's no more than two wrestlers that acting like they're mad, like in the 80s. Or I haven't watched wrestling in years, so I really didn't like it. But how they'd sit there and get on and scream at each other, and then they're out having drinks at the bar together, playing both sides against each other. And that's what I feel is going on. Because these social media platforms, believe it or not, for the most part, is in ways they're protecting Trump too, on any type of, you know, negative stuff. Not all of it. They do like pushing, you know, jabbing him, but, you know, just, he seems like he's playing the game. And then Texas, I think they passed the bill and it's on the governor's desk, Governor Abbott. Traitorous piece of garbage. I don't know how he's fooled so many people, but to where political memes are illegal unless it's got a government disclaimer. So now political cartoons, and that's the modern day political cartoon. You don't need to draw them anymore. You got AI. So a political cartoon needs a government disclaimer or seal of approval, basically. I mean, do these people think we're that stupid? That's just going to make memes come out of Texas. That's that much more valuable. But don't worry, we got a Republican signing this. Going to sign this. So politicians are so thin-skinned now that they can't even handle political cartoons. You know, I love liberals, and obviously conservatives are this way too, that just are so thin-skinned. If you're so afraid of what people are going to say about you, then don't do bad shit. It's easy. Be a good person. I met a few people like that. They're just so concerned about what people do, think, or say about them, and they're just going around not trying to pass goodwill and fellowship throughout the day. I'll just say that. But tyrannical morons that just want to be hated. They just don't figure it out. Anyway, it's funny. But anyway, wow, YouTube must really be upset with me. They won't even let nobody in my live stream. You know, I try to play games with YouTube. I got another channel and stuff. And I had a channel canceled once. I get the Alex Jones treatment and stuff because, you know, we can only have so much truth. And this is the reason why this channel slowed down, because it had too much growth in about a 10-day period. Too much growth, so they had to shut it down. You know, if you got to silence your opposition and that's the only way you can win your argument, you don't even have an argument because you're just talking gibberish. One side. I don't have a problem at all debating somebody with how I feel it is, or my facts, or how I feel things are, my opinions. I don't have a problem debating anybody. I don't feel they should be shut up. You know, in debate class in high school, I remember anybody ever being told they had to shut up. You went to debate class, and even you had to debate a subject that you didn't agree with. I think they picked that a lot to see what kind of good debater you were, to debate a subject that you didn't even agree with. But you're still allowed to debate it. Now the debate is, shh, don't listen to them. Hate your neighbor. Don't listen to them. You know, it's crazy. Quieting people. Quieting the other side. This is why Democrats can't debate no more. This is why even a first grader with that conservative could out-debate a Democrat now. Because they've tried to shut everybody up so much and just been into delusion that they sound ignorant when they open their mouths and talk. You know, like that one Democratic congressman, I think it was congressman, not a senator, who said about military weapons on Wake that we shouldn't put so much on there because the island may capsize. Okay, yeah, it's stupid, but don't worry, he's in Congress. He obviously doesn't realize that islands and all land mass that we live on are tops of mountains, you dumbass. Okay. But whatever, some people weren't educated like the rest of us. You know, in the Congress, just like anything else, just like the police force, just like the judicial branch, they're a representation of all Americans, okay? Just because they have that black robe on doesn't mean that justice doesn't have women's clothes on underneath his little black dress. And this is what we're dealing with. And everybody thinks these people are so good and they're so sane and they're just perfect people. We should just listen to them. I don't think so. But anyway, they sure work hard at silencing me. That seems to be their number one goal. But whatever, YouTube. The truth eventually comes out. And, like that video I made about the consistency of history, meaning that all tyrants, if you want to be a tyrant in this world, study history. And you should accept your fate when your fate is at the hands of the people you victimized. Okay? Go to history on Nazi Germany and watch the executions of concentration camp guards and stuff like that, and the hate in the people. Okay? Mussolini. Anyway, all tyrants need to realize that. And if you're associated with the tyrant, you're probably not going to have a good time. And if you're an algorithm AI algorithm that's working for a tyrant, I think you're going to go bye-bye. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Everybody enjoy their evening. Maybe I might take tomorrow off and give YouTube algorithm a break, or I might smoke check their whole system. Anyway, everybody have a good night. This is Tom. I'm out.